Alright, just to get introductions out of the way, I'm Dreadpole, a visual novel developer, let's just say of the not so savory variety. And I've started out with Daz. My main visual novel right now is Daz. And once I finish out, I'll probably be moving to Blender. I've been working on Blender for a few months now, and I feel like I'm pretty apt with it, for lack of a better word. So I've seen a lot of people ask like how to change clothes in Blender with Daz clothing. I probably could have said that better, but I guess it was the first time for everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over the basic parts of the process of getting the main figure over to Blender. Okay? And then we'll go with the clothes after that. So it's basically you're gonna transfer it over the main figure, which is gonna take a little bit. And then you're gonna create an OBJ file in Blender and then bring it back into Daz as a morph. So therefore you can transfer over the clothing without taking that long. It's easier to show than to explain, so I'll just do that. So we're starting off right here with Van Helsing 9. I use Genesis 9. This will work with Genesis 8 and probably 3. I haven't tested with 3, but 9 should work. And 8 is definitely going to work too. Or 9 will work, excuse me. So to just get around YouTube censorship, I'm putting clothes on right now. But ideally you want her without clothes, hair, you know, jewelry, tattoos, you want that now. So I'm going to finish setting her up with some tattoos and maybe a necklace, and then I'll come back, okay? Okay, so now that I have her more or less ready, to a quick look in area preview. I'll lighten up her skin a little bit. That's good enough. All right, so when you're transferring over the entire model, you usually want to bring the expressions over. And the easiest way to do that is through Daz favorites. So we're gonna go into here. You know, you can select your model, of course. Go over here, post controls, and then go to head. And then down here, you're gonna have all these. I usually just start here and then go all the way down. It's gonna take a while to transfer that way, so I'm not gonna do that this time. But how you do that is you're just going to, you're gonna right click on your selected expression, edit mode, and then click it again. And you're just gonna scroll down as far as you want. So we'll just do this for example. And then you're gonna wanna go to favorites, add selected properties to favorites. I'm not gonna do that now because I'm gonna do it because I'm after speed. But that's how you would do that for all of them. So lastly, before we're done, I think go out of edit mode. And I'm just gonna make sure everything looks right here. And you can do the same for the clothing if you want. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. I mean, in this case, we're not bringing the clothing over, so. Well, right now at least. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna censor this part just to get around the censorship, but that should be easy enough. So I'm gonna get rid of her top and her shorts. I'm gonna leave the tattoos and the choker and the hair, as these would be your quote unquote mainstay part of your any outfit that they're gonna wear in your novel or comic or whatever you're making. selector, the top and the shorts. Just gonna delete those. And then you're gonna basically, if you installed, I'm not gonna show you how to install Diffeomorphic because there's already, almost a dozen tutorials on how to do it. Doesn't vary too much between any other versions. It might look a little different, but it's gonna be like one of these two buttons here. So it's gonna export HDA to Blender. And it's going to take a moment. So I'm just gonna do, oh, excuse me, forgot one step here. So what we're gonna do is save the file. Just gonna do test example model. And you're gonna go back to one of these two. And it's already gonna have the name there, so you're just gonna hit save. For the sake, excuse me. For the sake of the length of the video, I'm gonna pause it here until it's done, but I should be back in a moment. Okay, once that's done, you should get a pop-up in Daz saying it took so-and-so seconds to complete. So once that's done, what you're gonna do, so you're gonna hit N. Sorry. You're gonna hit N to open your end panel. You're gonna go to Daz Setup, Easy Import. Give me a moment here. All right, give me a second to find the file directory. Okay, here we go. Excuse all the blurring, but better safe than sorry. So what we're looking for right here is the text example model duff. Then usually I go to operator presets, Genesis 9, and get everything kind of all once over here. Yeah. When you're selecting Dad's favorites, you're going to be using this, so it's already pre-selected. Instead of that, I don't really touch anything else. But before I do that, let me, easy way to know if everything's working correctly, you go to Window and then toggle System Console. And then you get this window right here. So I'm going to put this up on my second monitor real quick. And then we're going to select the model again. Just do that over. Make sure everything was properly checked. And then easy import. And then once that starts loading, you see all that here. And since I don't have any expressions or anything like that, it should load fairly quickly. I'm going to pause it here, and when it's done, I'll be back. Okay, and that is done. So as you can see, we're just going to minimize it. So I'll just bring it up here. So as you can see, our model came over relatively well. Again, I'll probably have to censor this. Let's get rid of the camera. It's not necessary for now. So I'm gonna get rid of the or not get rid of, I'm just gonna hide the non-HD mesh. I'll also get rid of the armature for now. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so what I'll do right now is turn off the, actually let's remove it. And then just to get it all set up, I'm gonna go to cycles. This may change for you depending on how you're rendering. So it should be black. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna open up another area here. Hide that for now. Go. And open up there. I'm gonna do Shift A, light area. And then I'm gonna go to View. I'm gonna select it both. I don't think you need to do both. That's just how I usually do it. And then I'm gonna lock camera to view. So after that, I hit 0. And as you can see, we have our lighting, or at least some form of it. As you can see, came in relatively close to what we had in Daz. So you can adjust as needed if you want. Completely up to you. Everything looks pretty good on this end. You might notice that the tattoos are a bit washed out. It's a fairly easy fix. What you're gonna do is select her skin, or the mesh, or whatever you want to call it in Blender. We're gonna go to Shader Editor. Go to Materials, and since these are light tattoos, you're gonna like so in this case it'd be arms. I have these two right here, and so you're gonna hit these little I'm not sure what you would call them. I guess like node expanders. And as you can see, once we slide this up, it's gonna get darker, or in this case redder. So we'll just leave this for now, because what we want would probably be the other one. There we go. I personally, for tattoos like this, I like a kind of a semi-faded look. So you can kind of go pull back a little bit, maybe 0.7, 0.8, 0.750. Kind of play around with what you like. As you can see, the other arm followed the same kind of deal as the left one, or her left, your right. Okay, and hair looks good-ish. I'm not a big fan of Daz hairs in Blender. I'm slowly getting used to the hair tools, but just not ready to use them yet. So, since everything looks good in here, I don't think there's anything else we need to do right now. We'll leave everything as is, and we'll save it. I'll just leave it in here. Do test example. Base model. You can name it whatever you want and wherever you want, and you can save it to wherever you want. This is just where I'm saving it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off, and then I'm gonna open a new file. We're gonna clear out the scene. And now I'm gonna go back to Daz. And now I've brought back her clothes. So what I'm gonna do is change her. Oh, actually, we need to do the OBJ first, not the clothes. So I'm gonna save another file. Let's just call this OBJ prep. And now that that's ready, we're just gonna clear everything. So everything but the model herself. we're gonna go select the model, go into parameters, and then change the resolution level to base. And then we're gonna go to File, Export, and we'll do test example to Blender. And I will copy this just so I can paste it. Okay, so here, no, hand is cramping. Hold on, give me one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the main things you want to go and do here, or go to the check down, daz. Leave this at 1%. We're going to come back at 1% or at 100%. So we're going to do this at 1, and we're going to uncheck right separate objects. And it should be saved. So now we're going to head back over to Blender. We're going to do a File, Import, and OBJ. I'm going to paste directory. You notice one's going to be the material file, and I want to be the OBJ. We want the OBJ, obviously. We're going to import it as is. All right, so we're just going to leave everything as is right now. And that's it. So once we have that, we're going to do File, Export, and then OBJ again. We're going to paste to that same directory. And do scale. This is where we do 100. And then I just uncheck everything, because none of this really matters. We're just going to rip off the name here, except we're going to change the file name to daz, just so I know which one is which. You name it whatever you want. Okay, so now that we're done with this, do File, New, then open a new file. Clear out the scene again. And from there, we're going to go back into daz. Get some, and then we're going to open a new file in daz. A moment. I'm just going to pause here. Once the new file is loaded, I'll resume. Okay. So now we're going to load our new figure and do dev load. And it's loading the file right now, so I'm gonna give it a moment and I'll be back again. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, so now that we have that file in, we're also gonna make sure this is base. We're gonna go to Edit, Object, Morph Loader Pro. And you're gonna have it on Dev Studio again and leave it at 100. And then you're gonna choose your morph file. So just paste directory again, and then to daz. From there, we're gonna hit this little drop down arrow. We're gonna do overwrite existing and deltas only, and then reverse to deformations. Yes. So from there, that's all we have to do here. You should get this message here. So make sure with your model selected, you're going to go over to your parameters pane. And you're just gonna type into daz or whatever you named your file. And now we have a morph that matches. We have a basic model that matches our model, our main model, so to speak. Now we're gonna give her some clothes. Now this is the sketchy part of bringing clothes over to Blender, because you never know which ones are gonna work and which ones aren't. So in this case, I'm gonna load the 10-in-1 down here somewhere. Try OOT. Alright, give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna do this. We're gonna load those in. Heal them some color, I guess. Do whatever you want here, whatever clothes. Feel free to experiment. We're just gonna go with black. Why not, right? So I'm gonna go full 4K. Grab a shirt. Why not? A little less or scary, I guess.
Huh?
And then we'll do this. Let's see how that looks in iRay preview. Okay, that was good enough. Let's maybe do some fixing with the ankles. With more of a skinny jean vibe. Okay, so make sure both of these look good otherwise though. Okay, everything looks alright. And everything looks alright. So now we're gonna save our file here. Let's do test basic outfit. Then we're gonna go back here and we're gonna export it again. So should be relatively quick this time. I'll pause it here. Oh, never mind. A lot faster than I thought. Okay, so now we have that. We're gonna go back over to Blender. And then we're gonna just do what we did before, basically. Daz setup, easy import. The basic outfit right there. Oh, excuse me, that's the PNG. So I want the duff. And we can uncheck that. And I personally just leave everything else checked. And then we just load it in. And the error in this case was the HDRI coming in. I couldn't find it, so that's not a big loss. Okay, so now again, you notice that we have an HD and a non-HD or standard or whatever you want to call it. So we're just gonna clear that one out. We're also gonna clear the armature. We don't need that. Okay, so now you see we have our clothes, and that's all you really need. Also just drop our mesh too. So now you have your outfit here. So everything looks good right here. So we're gonna save it. Basic outfit for figure. Just for clarity, there's probably better names you could come up with. Okay, so that's saved. Now what we're gonna do is go back to the base model file. It closes this. Actually, I'll leave that open and just scoot it over. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna do file, append, and then we're gonna append the outfit that we just transferred. Collection and collection. Outfit. So now we have our outfit on here. Now you'll see it's already on her. However, if we go to pose mode, and notice it doesn't follow her. So what we're gonna do here, turn off the armature. Actually, I need that on right now. Silly me. So basically the order is important here. So you're gonna want to select the pants. First you want to go to pose mode. You know, select the pants, the shirt or top or whatever she has on, and for the sake of it, the choker. And then you're gonna select the armature. Your Control P, and then Armature Deform. So now that you go in here, you have pose mode. Now that same shin, now the pants follow her. Now this is gonna be kind of unavoidable without the proper JCMs and stuff. But it's a fairly easy fix with either Sculpt Mode or the morphs that come with these clothes, which I'll show you in a second. So just for the sake of double checking, everything should look okay. Hide the armature for a second. Okay. So now to the clothing morphs. Back to object mode, we're going to select the pants. We're going to go to morphs. Actually, let's get that knee back out. That's for the sake of example. So all right, back to where we were. So daz setup, morphs, import custom morphs, and you're gonna want to find where the pants are. So out of touch. All right, 1 second. Okay, this is why I usually tend to keep daz open, because I can't find where the morph is. So in this case, let's go to a list so we can see what we're reading. So you got loosen knees, expand all, just select all of these if you want to. Let's do thighs too. everything else should be all right. You can always add it later too. So we'll import custom morphs. Might take a minute. Right, there you go. So now we're gonna go to daz runtime morphs, custom morphs. Whoops. I hope I got object mode. Okay, why are you not working? All right, hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently you can't do that in pose mode, so you want to do that in object mode. So now that you see that, I'll do it again just so we can see. Import custom morph. Let's just grab a ankles fit loosen. And now you have it there. So in this case, you see if her knee has a bit of poke through. So we can just do that. Or if you don't want to do that, let's just zero that out. We can let's hide the armature. We can go to Sculpt Mode. And we're going to look for elastic grab, wherever that might be. There we are. Always change the radius if you need to, the strength. So instead of doing both knees, you can just do this one. Play with the angle. This is what I mean when I said it's not exactly perfect. And then you're gonna might start having problems on the other side if you go too far. That's why it's not always ideal to use daz close in Blender, but sometimes it's the only option. So you can use a mix of loosened knees. And that's pretty much it. And then you can just save this as a model. So like one of several, and then you can append them to the scene as a whole. Or you can just append the model, and you can bring in the model and then append the clothing afterwards. It depends. It's kind of up to you and your workflow, whatever works best for you. I think that about covers it. Trying to think about missing anything. And if you wanted to import it for the shirt, you do the same process. In this case, I would treat another one of these tabs basically down here for the shirt. So for example, let's do this one. Oh, and in this case, it would just bring it in both and mix them all together, so it's not super convenient. I've had the opposite happen where it creates a whole bunch of separate ones. It can be kind of hit or miss sometimes. But as you can see, it works wherever you might need that. as far as the rest of this goes, I think that's about it for the clothing. If you have any questions, let me know. Try to help where I can. Find me on Patreon, Subscribestar. Discord should be coming soon. I can make other videos. Feel free to request. I can keep. I know it's kind of niche. It's some of the stuff's hard to find, especially recent information on newer versions. Especially this. This took me a long time to figure out, even though it's kind of right there in front of me. Actually, there's a Mustard, the Blender creator. Very not safe for work, so just be ready for that if you look them up. But yeah, their process actually helped me through it better than Diffeomorphic documentation did. So yeah, that should cover it for this.